How do neurons maintain action potentials with energy? Imagine a tiny electrical storm happening inside your brain every second. That's what neurons do when they send signals. But how do they keep this electrical activity going without running out of energy? Neurons generate action potentials by moving charged particles called ions across their membranes. When a neuron gets a signal, sodium ions rush into the cell through special channels. This makes the inside of the neuron more positive, creating a rapid electrical spike. Then, potassium ions leave the cell, restoring the negative charge inside. This quick change is what we call an action potential. Now, this process depends on the movement of ions, but it also needs energy to keep going. The key player here is the sodium-potassium pump. It's a tiny protein embedded in the neuron's membrane that uses energy from a molecule called adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, to work. This pump actively moves 3 sodium ions out of the neuron and brings in 2 potassium ions. This activity restores the original ion balance after each signal. Why is this important? Because the difference in ion concentrations inside and outside the neuron creates what's called the resting membrane potential, usually around -70 millivolts. This negative charge inside the neuron is what allows it to fire again when needed. Without the sodium-potassium pump constantly working, the neuron would lose this balance quickly and wouldn't be able to send signals properly. During an action potential, sodium channels open and then close, entering an inactivated state. This inactivation creates a period where the neuron can't fire again immediately, called the absolute refractory period. Potassium channels stay open a little longer, causing a brief hyperpolarization, which makes the inside of the neuron even more negative before it returns to its resting state. All these steps show how neurons relying on energy to keep their electrical signals alive. The sodium-potassium pump uses ATP energy to restore the ion gradients that make action potentials possible. This constant energy use keeps neurons ready to fire again and again. In neurotechnology, understanding this energy use helps scientists develop devices that can interact with neurons. For example, brain-machine interfaces and neural prosthetics often mimic or influence these ion movements. Knowing how neurons maintain their signals with energy is a foundation for creating smarter, more effective neural technologies.